All right, guys, what's going on? Next video. Still waiting on some front end parts, so we're moving on to the next project. Now, this is something y'all have been waiting for, and it's going to be a biggie. I may have to do it in a couple parts, but we'll just jump straight in and I'll show you what I got going. So I've got this big old flat piece of metal. Still need to do inner structures in the car. Let me get a little light here. So I've got some door panel, templates that I've had, and that's how we're going to do it. It fits pretty close, so we're basically going to template that. That's also going to give me my window regulator holes where that stuff needs to go. I've got all that ready to go. I've also got 2-door sedan garnish molding. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it should work just fine. Now there's going to have to be a little bit of manipulating and stuff like that. But the plan is we're going to line that up on the metal, trace it out, cut it out, and then once I get it fitting good, I'm actually going to put a few bead rolls in the metal panel to give it good strength. And then once it's in the car and I get it tacked in where I want to go, I'll build this little top channel over, which in reference point for that would be like made something like this, except I'm just going to make it by hand. And with these door panels, I get my contour of the quarter also. So that's going to get me started, and I think that's where we're going to go with this. And then so I'll set you up on laps, and we'll just dig right in, get started, and see what we come up with, guys. All right, I'll bring you back. All right, guys, what's going on? Bring you back here just a second and show you what we got going on. And I am basically blown away. This thing basically fell in place of where it needs to be. Now I am going to have to do a little bit of trimming, but my gasser's over in the bay next door, and it's a true two-door sedan. So I've been going back and forth, you know, looking to make sure I get this as close as I can. But this big chunk right here, I got to get it out of the way. But this channel up here, which is some of the original part of the four-door where that back small glass was, that channel is where the glass is going to be. So as I went back and forth, I'm not going to cut that channel yet, but I do got to get this chunk out of the way because that's good and strong. And here, just let me lay this panel in here and I'll just show you guys. It keeps it basically right where it needs to be. And that will go in there like that. And then that creates that inch over channel. And then your garnish mode will go in later, your door panels and your garnish mode. And it covers it up just like that. And then that channel there I was talking about is actually where your window is. So I'm not going to cut it out right now. I'm going to wait till later. That way I keep some good structure in here to keep this straight. But what I'm going to do now is I'm getting my bead roller set up. And I'm going to lay this out on the floor and mark some lines on it, and then I'm going to put a few bead rolls in it just to give this metal some strength. And then once I get that done, I'll get it in here and get it fit. I'll get it tacked in place, and then it should be in good shape. And then all I'll have to do is build that like a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch over channel to contour this, and I'll weld it right here. And then that will give me the lip to connect my window felt. I think that's how I'm going to do it. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to lay this out and bead roll it and give it some strength, and then get it fit in here and tacked, and then I'll go from there. I'll bring you back, guys. See you. All right, guys, bring you back here just a second and show you where we're at with this and what we got going on. You know, this is my first go around with it. It's all trial and error. So I'll just show you what we've got going and what I think I'm gonna do to make this inner structure work. So I'm pretty pleased with it right now. Put bead rolls in both sides, just got it tacked in there. My garnish molding fits, all that good stuff. So today's plan, the metal's good and strong, but I have to make a top lip here for the window channel, kind of like the doors. So I think, actually let me back up just a second. I thought I was going to be able to leave that section in when I first started this. So you guys seen me tack this one in, and then I had to cut it back loose. I needed to cut that out. That way my channel's ready to go in there. I've got all open, because there's no way I could have got in there to cut it. So I've done both sides. Now my plan, this is just an L that I had laying around. But my plan is to make a C channel about 36 inches long, and then I'm going to cap it over like that, and you'll actually have one going down kind of like the factory right here, and that way you have a place for your window felt. And then I'll lap it over on this side, probably drill it and spot weld it, and then shape it into this all the way up to here. And then that way, that'll give that strength right in the middle, is what I'm thinking I'm going to try to do. So I went over to the big shop today, or this morning, and got my little brake. You guys have seen it before, just a Harbor Freight special. I beefed it up a little bit. Now I got me some more metal wires over there, so I'm gonna try to lay this out and break these pieces of metal. to make these top ridges on this to hold that out straight where it needs to be. And also, I don't know if you guys can see it, but where I made these off of the door panels, I've already got lines on there for where my window crank, window regulators, all that needs to be. And I've been going back and forth from my gasser checking measurements. So my inner structure is actually really close to the way the gasser measures as far as window cranks. Now, once I get these top channels made, then I should be able to go over to the gasser and measure the holes for the screws for all the window regulators and all that stuff, and be able to mark it out, be able to put my window regulators in pretty close to factory, I would think. Like I said, guys, this is all trial and error. My first go around with it. I'm pleased with the point I'm at right now. So we'll go ahead and just get set up. I'm gonna go get a few measurements, and then we'll get set up on the brake, and we'll take our hand at trying to make these channels, and hopefully it works out. So we'll bring you back, guys. See you. All right, guys, bring you back here in just a second. Show you what I've got going. I don't have this part on camera because, frankly, I didn't know the way it was going to turn out. I'm liking it. I think it's going to work fine. So on passenger side, I'll show you every bit of it on camera. But we'll take a look at it from the outside right here. It's just sitting on there. It's not welded. So what I done, guys, I broke my C channel 3/4 by 1 1/8 by 3/4 down, and just broke a channel. Laid it in here straight, and like I said, it's just sitting here. But we have this roll right here. So I just slit cut right here to make it chase this roll down through there. And that's just held in, you know, and then I'll push this back. I'm gonna drill holes, and I'll spot weld this inner structure to it. That way it holds this inner structure out right here. And then, with it just sitting there, when your interior garnish mode goes in, then you've got this window channel here. So if you guys can see this, what I was talking about earlier, off the door panels, right here is your window crank mark, and it's measured off the gasser, off the floor, and from the post back, and in the right location. These two circles here are for the rear armrest. And then, so what I should be able to do once I get this structure in, I should be able to go to the gasser, measure where my, you know, my screw holes are for my inner regulator, and be able to mount my inner regulators and all that work. And then all I'll need is glass. Now, in the future, just like factory on these cars, I plan on cutting an access door in this panel to be able to get in there, you know, to mount my regulators and all that stuff up. So that's what it's coming out to be like. I hope it's going to turn out good. I'm going to go ahead and set you up. We'll get this one, you know, spot welded in. And then when I go to do this side, guys, I'll get the whole 9 yards on there with breaking the metal, putting the slits in it, making it shape out, and we'll go from there. So I'll bring you back, guys. See you. All right, guys, what's going on? Bring you back here real quick and show you how this inner structure turned out, and then we're probably going to cap it right here for the time being, and I'll explain why when I get in here and show you. But overall, I think it turned out great. Using the door panels, luckily I had a set of door panels to be able to use a template. You know, luckily I've got the gasser next door, being able to, you know, pull a few measurements and stuff like that. And I think it's going to work out just fine. But I'll show you what we got going, guys, and we'll go from here. So here's the outside view with the garnish molding just stuck in there. You know, and everything's looking pretty good. There's still going to be a few more adjustments, you know, with the garnish moldings and stuff like that. But I've got it fit in there pretty good. The main panel is still just tacked in, and I'm going to leave it like that for now. I've still got a few pieces to round up for my window, and I got to cut the access hole to be able to bolt that stuff up and all that. But the reason I'm going to leave it tacked, the main reason is because this corner right back there, I think I've got enough cut out to clear for the window, but I don't know for sure. So I don't want to weld it up and then not be able to take this panel out just yet, just in case I've got to take it back out and do some more cutting back there. So I'm going to leave it tacked for now. Like I said, that garnish molding is on. Just kind of fit in there. Now these are solid, you know, and turned out great, and I think it'll work fine. You know, the passenger side turned out the same way, with the garnish molding up, you know, and I put the bead rolls in it just to give the panel some strength. You know, I've still got room. I'll be able to do my interior door panels and all that, and I've still got to get the window regulators in. Same for this side, it's just tacked in, just in case we got to get back there in that corner and cut some more out. But kind of roughed in, I'm pleased with it. It turned out great, in my opinion, for what it is. So that's where that's probably where we're gonna leave this one, and I'll get this one put out for you, and we'll go from there. Like I said, I got a few more parts to round up with the window regulators. I've got most of it. Got to get a few more pieces, and before I weld it in solid, I'm gonna make sure I've got enough cleared out in there to clear these windows, because I want this thing to have the roll-up windows in it. I've not seen one out there unless it's had a donor 2-door sedan quarter put in it. You know, this one's all completely handmade, as you guys have seen from the 4-door. I didn't buy quarters, I made them all. You know, the post, same, the whole 9 yards. So this is all trial and error, guys. But that's where we're gonna cap it. I'll get this one put out. Hope you guys like it. As always, like, subscribe, comment, talk to me, guys. Till next time, see you.